What's up, everyone? Welcome to my show. I guess I do have to make two videos in one day. The mail did come today. I just made a previous video a couple hours ago. Got a package. I'm going to do an unboxing. I don't always do those because they take forever, but just things I want to talk about. Why I'm unboxing this. Because I know I know what it is already because it's the only thing that could be in here. I'm not going to say though, but it's the last of the non-comic book related items I had gotten. So, get an idea of what it could be. It's funny because the video I just mentioned before, I was kind of talking about this in a way, but also I was talking to my friends about this a couple weeks ago, and we got into a huge discussion, which is I guess weird. I guess it falls into you never know about things. Well, maybe you never know. There we go. It's in there. Big old green thing. Lots of bubble wrap. Lots of newspaper. But thank God they put in the bubble wrap. Now, this I'm very excited to have. It's something I had when I was a kid, like everything else, I guess. Let's just hope it's in as good shape as it looked like it was in. And it seems to be. So that's pretty cool. Got some bubble wrap to pack stuff with now. Alright, a little extra. Alright. I'll move myself, sorry. Yeah, I'm wearing the same clothes too because it's same day. But before I show you this, like I said, I'm going to kind of get into things like this. A friend of mine said, why am I going so hardcore after certain things? Like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing that? And I never feel you have to really explain yourself to anybody or anything. It's kind of what you want to do. It's what you want to do. Me personally, I mentioned this in the previous video too, is that I went after some toys, and I had people like, oh, you're not not a real collector, blah blah blah, and I had mentioned that I go after things because I had them when I was a kid, and even though it's not really your original toy, it's the same item, and it kind of brings back the memory, which no one can ever take your memory away. That's always yours. Even though the toy or book or whatever it is, motorcycle, whatever it is you collect, isn't your exact one, it's still the same thing, and it still sparks the memory, and that's what really matters. Now, like I said, I'm going to go into some stuff here. So, it might be a little bit of a video here, but when I was a kid, a lot of people always want to know too, so what the hell, it's double. My friend always wanted to know stuff too, so this video's for him too. When I was a kid, I wasn't a rich kid. I didn't have all the money. I didn't have all these things. I did have a lot of things, but it came at a price. And like I said, I wasn't always the most popular kid. I wasn't always all this stuff. Like I'm talking about like grade school up. And the reason I say it came at a price is when I was a kid, like my father had money. Like he wasn't rich, but he could get there if he wanted to. My father worked very hard when he worked. He owned his own construction company. He had bought businesses. He made his own pizza place. He had all these things that he did that made money. And we could have been rich. We could have been if we wanted to. Like his partner was pretty rich from the money that they made from construction. Like I said, my father was very good. Oh, Seamus attacking the cat. Hey. Oh well, they're weird. He was very good at his job. Like I said, he owned his own construction company. He always did, he always did a great job when he did things like if he built a building or he demolished it. Demolishing was fun. But if he did it, he always did a good job. He always did it the right way. He always did it, he didn't cut corners. He didn't do sneaky stuff. And then he went into like waste disposal stuff, like everything. Like he branched out to make as much money as he could. Now, my parents always gave me what they could. Like, I'm not saying anything bad about them. They did what they could. I wasn't spoiled. Like, I didn't get everything every time. I didn't get, But when I asked for something, I usually would get it, like, within reason. Like, I wouldn't be like, every single day, like, hey, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. Because my parents would be like, no, you're not getting it. But when it came to my birthday or it came to Christmas or Easter or whatever, I'd get pretty much everything on my list. Like, it was very rare that I didn't get something that I had down there, unless there was just no way to get it, or if it was just way too expensive. And I'm not tooting my own horn. I'm not trying to make people feel bad. I'm just trying to make people see how it comes at a price. When I was a kid, because, like I said, I didn't always have money, but we had it when we had it. That makes any sense. It's going to sound really weird. But my problem was you didn't know if you were going to have food on the table that day. You didn't know if you were going to be living in the same place you were living that day. Most normal people, they'd have bank accounts, they'd have money saved up. If something happened, if you injured your knee or something like that, and they had to take you to the hospital, they had the money covered. They had insurance, they had this, they had that, they had a car, they had all these things. Me, granted, I had all these toys, I had all these comics, I had all this stuff, VHS, whatever. But I didn't have the security that other people had. Like, I didn't have a home, all the time. I didn't have this, I didn't have that. Certain things that you take for granted. And that's why a lot of the reasons these toys, they mean a lot, because I had them and they were kind of like, they were like family in a way. It seems really weird, but when I would move from place to place, I always had these items, or always had something that I could bring with me. Like, not everybody could come with me, so it's always like, my friends stayed in one town, I had to move another town, I'd never be able to see them again, unless maybe like once a month. But I always had these things with me. And what sucked the most is, like I said, my father was a gambler, so that was the problem. You didn't know if he gambled all the money away that week, or if he's going to pay the rent, or you're going to have a car that day, or you're going to have this, or he gambled the car away, or if you were going to eat that week, or whatever. And my mom did the best she could. She would be like, all right, she would try to not hoard, but she would try to hoard like canned goods and money from time to time. My father gave her $100 a week or something like that. She'd be like, all right, let me cut this bill in half, save some money just in case this happens, because it always happened. It was always, you never knew, and that's what sucked the most about when I was a kid. Like, I wouldn't change it for the world. I mean, that sounds really sick, but because of moving around, I met so many people. I got a chance to meet a lot of really good friends, and girlfriends and stuff like that. So that's one of the reasons I wouldn't change it. It had its ups and downs, and like I said, it sucked because when I was a kid, my toys were constantly getting thrown out because my father would leave them behind, or he would just try to piss me off, and it's a whole big thing. We're not getting into it. But like I said, that's one of the reasons why I go after a lot of these things, because I like the memory of it. I like to look at it and be like, hey, that's cool. I remember having that. I'd like to have that again. And this will sound sick too, but my ultimate goal, and I'm going to put this out there for anybody. You know how they say you can wish in one hand and crap in the other and see which one gets fulfilled first? It basically what it boils down to. You can wish about things all you want, but if you don't go out and do something about it, it's never going to come around. It's never going to come into fruition. It's never going to happen. Me, I'm busting my ass. I probably should have did it a lot sooner. I should have, took the initiative and said, hey, you know what? Get your act together and start doing something, because I'm not getting any younger. I'm actually going on a lot of, setting myself up for a lot of job interviews. I'm trying to get out of what I'm doing now, because there's just no money in it. There's no real future in it. And like I said, I'm busting my ass. I'm doing the hours I can. I'm taking, double shifts. I'm taking this, I'm taking that, just to try to get as much money as I can. I know it kind of is a double-edged sword. It's kind of stabbing, because it's like, oh, you're pissing money away on these things. I know, but you got to have some kind of an outlet, because if you don't, you'll go nuts. If you don't have some way of, I don't know, of blowing off steam, or just kind of having, having a good time, you're going to go insane. You're going to not be happy. And the reason I'm busting my ass so much is, like most people know in the video, is I'm getting ready to move. It's August. I want to have everything packed. I know buying stuff is making more stuff to pack, I know. But October 31st, Halloween, is my deadline. I want to have everything packed by then, or at least 99% of it. And like, there's little things here and there, like obviously dishes we're not going to pack till the last second, and and the bed and stuff like that, but everything else. Because the ultimate goal here, and the reason I'm killing myself, and the reason my wife is killing herself at her job, doing overtime and stuff like that, is we want to get a house. We want to finally hit that rainbow road and be like, hey, you know what? We finally did it. We finally got this place. And my ultimate goal, like I said, is I want to get a house because I know the wife really wants one. I really want one. I really want to. We're tired of renting. We're tired of giving everybody else our money. We just want to have something for a future kind of thing, where we can kind of catch our breath and something like, hey, you know what? We finally got a little bit ahead. I mean, the house is in the ultimate. It's one of the ultimate goals. I mean, I'd love to start a family and stuff like that. But one of my goals is to get a nice house where we'd be happy. We got the dog, we got the cat. Have a spare bedroom for a guest, or make it into my ultimate goal, making a movie room and a comic book room, and have display case, just really cool stuff that I watch a lot of videos. I'm like, that's amazing. I want to do something like that. And one of the other reasons why I've been getting stuff, even though it's not the smartest thing in the world, because like I said, I got to pack it up anyway, is I'm finding them really cheap. And usually the best thing to do is, if you find something that's in good shape and it's cheap, try to get it, because you're going to kick yourself later on. Like, I've seen this particular item. I haven't even shown you. I've been talking about it. going for a lot more than what I paid. And it seems the condition it's in is absolutely amazing for what I paid, because it's going for double that price. Let me show you, because I'm rambling. I'm just like, oh, what the hell is it? I've been going hardcore after a few things. As you know, I've been going after army ants like no one's business. Because like I said, when I was a kid, I had every army ant. I had everything that would, guts they were called. They were like little army figures. I had all of them. I had every battle beast. I had all their vehicles. I had all the Ghostbusters. I had a lot of G.I. Joes. I didn't have all the G.I. Joes, but I had almost all the Ghostbuster figures. GoBots. I had like tons of GoBots, tons of Transformers, tons and tons of Ninja Turtles. I didn't have all. My friend actually kicked my ass on that one. But I had tons of that, like all that stuff. Like He-Man. I had all the He-Man, which sucks because I really wish I had them. I had all the Thundercats. I wish I had back. But this is something I was trying to go after them as well as when I was going after the army ants. I kind of stopped with the army ants because they're getting kind of pricey, and they also don't have the ones I'm looking for right now. But I started going after these, and these were getting way too high, like with the amount of the prices they wanted. Especially this thing. What I got was this. It's a Battle Beast Chariot. As you can see, the mouth opens, kind of it closes, which it's supposed to stay closed if you want to close, but apparently this one is really loose. But oh well, you know, I can't win them all. Everything's attached to it. It's got these little nub things, little like grinder, I guess, whatever. It's got the thing. This is supposed to open up. Hopefully, let's see if I don't want to break it. See if yep, it slides open. You put your battle beast in here. You slide it down. They also have on the side. Like I said, I don't want to break it. See if I can get this thing. Yeah, on the side, they have these little things that lift up, and you're supposed to put battle beasts in there as well, like a carrier. And it's motorized. You pull it back, and it would go. This particular one is for Deerstalker, he was called. I have him. I have the Battle Beast, a little reindeer guy. Looks like a futuristic kind of Terminator guy. But like I said, I had all these when I was a kid. I had all the Battle Beasts, or pretty close to it. But you can't really see it. Let's see if you can read it. I'm sorry. Yeah, 1987 Hasbro Takara is on the back, so you can see it here. It's real. Oh, it did stay closed. Cool. But this thing, I've seen ones in worse shape, but it didn't even have all the stuff or in working condition, and they're going for $20, $30, sometimes even more. I got this thing with the shipping for $8, and that's one of the reasons why I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna jump on that. I have a little extra cash. I'm gonna get it because again, like I said, one of the main goals I'd love to have down the line is hopefully soon, you know, have a couple of display cases, put some cool stuff from when I was a kid in there, and you know, just make some cool stuff, you know. And keep the memories alive, I guess. Keep them in there, and then, like, you know, if people come over, like, hey, what's that? Or, you know, I had that when I was a kid, or I had, you know, something like it. But yeah, it's pretty cool. So there you go. Kind of went all around about, made a whole story, but hey, hopefully it helps. See where I'm coming from. But this is the Deerstalker Chariot from Battle Beasts, which does kind of suck because the Battle Beasts, like, I've been trying to go for them, but they're just getting really, really out of hand with prices. I mean, the cheapest ones I see now are like $12, and it's like, and they don't even have the sticker that you rub and stuff like that. It's just like, oh, okay, or the weapon. So it's rough. It's rough. So I'm biding my time when it comes to those. That's what you gotta do sometimes. You gotta just kind of sit back, relax, and take it easy, and be like, hey, it comes around, it comes around. Doesn't it? Doesn't. See what happens. You never know. Same thing like I said with comics. You never know what you're gonna get. You never know what's around the corner. You never say never. Never be like, I'll never own that, or I'll never be able to get that, I'll never do that. You never know. And that will do it. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. And remember, it's not the size you keep that matters. It's what you have in it. And I have a lot of toys from the past. And like I said, I have a lot of things still coming in the mail. Hopefully, we'll see how it goes. And when they come around, I'll make another video. Thanks, everybody. Later.